Lynn-Marie.
Hi, and this is E3, and welcome to another weekend of Lynn-Marie and E3's weekly vlog.
Yes.
Which features a little bit of encouragement, entertainment, and a little extra.
Yay! So it's cold and rainy here in Nashville today. Once again, we have the fire going, and we've had a hell of a week. I am not afraid to say it.
Yeah, it's been a quite challenging week.
Yeah, it was just one of those weeks where everything was busy. I mean, it was okay. I mean, it wasn't, not that horrible, but it was hard. It was just definitely a hard week. And we're glad it's Sunday. And we want to encourage you too. If you had a hard week, maybe something we're going to share is going to encourage you.
Yeah. So weeks like this sometimes with some individuals, and I'm one that's included, can sometimes maybe turn to bad habits in your life to get through this week. Whether it be overeating, let's say, or let's say hiding yourself in a bed and with the covers over your head, or for some of us, running to the bar and drinking. And I'm not talking about others who just love to enjoy a drink. I'm talking about those who use it for a coping mechanism, let's say that. So this week would have been one of those weeks that would have been perfect to do that. But fortunately or unfortunately, for myself, I actually dealt with everything head on with my emotions. And it was a quite challenging week to do so, but came out of it, I guess you could say, a better person, even though I'm still kind of filtering through a couple things here.
Yeah, I think it's interesting that we are creatures of habit. And so the minute we face a challenge or an obstacle, we want to go to what feels comfortable. This is the way I used to deal with it, and so this is how I'm going to do it. And boy, it just really takes some effort and strength to make better choices. You have the opportunity in that instant that you're in that craziness to make a better, different choice. And I always say that that's where the healing starts. Like, it's really easy to say, I was talking to a friend who's going through some things this week, and she said to me, I know exactly what my issues are. I know that it has to do with the way I was raised, blah, blah, blah. And I said to her, but there's a difference between knowing it and understanding it and actually healing it. There's a huge difference. You can say all day long that this is from my past and this is the way I did it, but when you really get down and dirty with it and start to heal it, people always say, well, how do you do that? Well, it starts in that moment. I'm sure for you, Eddie, this week was one of those weeks where you wanted to pick up a drink. And it was in that moment that you thought you had to stop. You had to stop yourself. You had to think about it. You had to analyze why you weren't going to do it.
Right.
And that's when you get stronger. That in those moments, I truly believe that the healing happens in the moments that you stop to breathe and in the silence when you think about the choice you're about to make.
Yeah. Look, it's logical thinking when you think about it and you say it out loud, but a lot of us aren't logical, especially in times when we're dealing with something that to us seems illogical, right? So logical actions don't necessarily have to be backed up by other illogical actions, right?
Right.
Think about that for a second, Don't do one illogical action because you're in an illogical situation in your mind. Yeah. It actually becomes logical if you keep your mind free and realize what the main goal is ahead of you. So, for this week, some of you may have watched, this wasn't on this page, it was on my personal page. I just shot a live video real quick, and I was talking about anger, and I was talking about something that I had to do that potentially or was putting me into a kind of an angry state. And, I was through therapy and through our therapist, a great suggestion was to acknowledge that anger. Acknowledge it. Hey, I'm really angry. I'm very angry right now. Acknowledge that anger. But if you have to go into a situation, and this could be any situation, if you're angry with a relative or a family member or a friend, you're very angry, but you want to talk it through with them, or you need to talk about it. Don't bring that anger with you, because you're not going to be able to talk about it in a rational, logical situation, or in that type of way. In my a situation. I had to go into a place, and so what I was suggested to do, and I tried it, it really sounds kind of corny, but it's not. I left the anger in the car. You know, before I got out of the car, I acknowledged it. I said, yeah, I'm very angry right now, but I'll be right back with you because I got to go take care of something. And I did, and I did it without an ounce of anger at all with me. And, you know, I had the option to come back then to the car when I was leaving and pick my anger back up and then go do something with it. Now, here's the key. What do I do with it? Do I go to the bar and start drinking with that anger? Do I go and, you know, ram somebody with my car? Yeah. Do I go to the gym? Do I go eat? You know, that's the key. Then what do you do with that anger? But you could acknowledge it, you could take care of it, but don't use that in the situation you're in. So, you know, here's give you your example, or here's give you just a story then. You're mad at somebody, right? Where is it going to get you when you're bringing that anger with you to try to tell this person what they did wrong or what you want differently? All it's going to do is go inflame, like the fire here. Yeah. You're going to just stoke the fire, and then their anger, and then all of a sudden you got two people with anger just battling, trying to get their word in and what they want, as opposed to rationality.
Yeah, you know? I think we talked about it a couple weeks ago that anger, the definition of anger per our therapist, is just the desire for things to be different than they are, that you're angry because something is not the way you want it to be. So if you leave that anger outside of the conversation that you're trying to get a better result in, you're going to get a better result, hands down. Right. But I want to touch one more thing about leaving that anger in the car. You know, a good exercise might even be to write it down. If you're take a piece of paper, write anger, and look at it and put it somewhere. Put it in the other room and say, like Eddie did this week, I'm leaving you here. I am going to not touch you. But what that does is it gives you the freedom to get away from it for a little bit, but you don't have to completely just surrender to it. Mm-hmm. Like, you knew you were still allowed to be angry, right? You just couldn't be angry at that moment. But when you came back to it, I bet, and I don't want to speak for you, but I bet it was lessened. Yeah,
absolutely. I can't believe you just said that. I was going to say that. Yeah. And that's I didn't even say this to her. So it's interesting that she's picking up on that, because that's the whole theory, right? And I did, when I got back to the car, it was almost like I was looking for the anger. I thought the anger must have left my car and picked up a taxi, because it wasn't in the car anymore. It really wasn't. That's very true. I came in and I was like, wow, you know, this instead of carrying with me, it was either lessened or actually gone. Yeah. So the very, very good observation.
So we want to encourage you, if you're angry, if you're carrying around anger, it could be anger from years ago, from something that happened. It could be something that happened yesterday. It is your desire for things to be different. Recognize that, and if you are put in a situation where you have to talk with that person, or leave it out of there and have that conversation. We think you'll go a lot further.
Yeah, listen, folks, I'll leave it at this last thing. You know, we're just trying to share our life experiences with you. Both of us have gone through a lot of different things in our lives. Yeah. Some similar, some not. But what we're just trying to do is just share that with you, because again, I stress this in almost all our videos. If there's just one person out there that can maybe be helped with our life experiences, then that's great. That's all we want to do. We just want to help you guys along. And I have been receiving messages from people, private messages, and from some people I never even really talked to, that just asked a couple questions about how's this, how's that, how'd you do this, how'd you do that. So it really touches my heart that I could actually be able to maybe provide some encouragement to somebody. So.
You're so cute.
All right. All right. So that's it for this weekend. We will see you next weekend. Yeah.
Hey y'all, I am so excited because this week's entertainment piece is the love of my life, Mr. Eddie Rodick III, when he was 8 on Poker Varieties. Enjoy.
This is the part of the show I can't wait to get to, because we get to introduce Eddie Rodick III once again, who is now all of, how old?
8 years old.
8 years old. First time you played for us, you were how old?
4.
When did you start playing drums?
3.
When you're 3. You've improved a lot, Pop says. Got your own band started yet?
No.
Not yet. You been on any of his recordings?
No.
No? What's wrong with Dad? He's slow, isn't he, huh? What are you going to do for us this first number? Do you know, Eddie? Just a plain old polka, or is it a waltz, or?
Polka.
It's going to be a polka? Okay. Dad, you ready? Eddie the Third.
Super easy recipe from my kitchen today. It is pecan, sugar, bacon. If you have never made bacon like this, whew, and it's not just for breakfast, that's the best thing. You could serve it at a party, you could cut the pieces in half and have it just on a plate. So good like that, but that's what we're making today. Eddie is home this time, which means he's going to be annoying me. I'm pretty much can count on it. That's not true. I'm glad he's home, but he's upstairs working while I'm making the bacon. All right, so what you're gonna need is this is how I lay the bacon out on a pan. I cover a cooking sheet with tin foil. I put it on a rack so that the juices can drip down. I lay the bacon in a single file. I like to use a single layer, sorry. And I like to use thick cut bacon. And then I always lay these two pieces on the ends because for me, it helps have it not bubble up, I think. And then halfway through, I'll move these end pieces over to the side. This is a problem. See, I've done most of the cooking things for this show when Eddie is not home, and now Eddie's home, and he's making me nuts. Go away.
I took a picture of you in your wedding shoes making me bacon.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. That's true. Look, I'm breaking in my wedding shoes. Oh shoot. Well, I guess you all have seen them now. There you go. Those are my wedding shoes, and I'm breaking them in as I cook, so that my feet don't hurt on my wedding night. And I'm not going to show them to you again, but yes, they have masking tape all over them because I don't want to get them dirty. All right, that's all mixed. That's going to go on top of our bacon. And you're going to take your pecan, brown sugar, and black pepper mixture, and all you're going to do is press it on your bacon. Like this. See? And it just, and it's gonna get messy and it's gonna drip down. But you just do that for every slice. And you don't have to cover it completely. And lots of times I don't have enough, so I remake it because I like it to be really thick. Okay, there's the finished bacon ready to go in the oven. I will tell you that for these pieces, I did lift it up and put some underneath so that when I move it, those ends are also sugared. And that's it. We're going to put it in a 400-degree oven for about 25 minutes and just watch it to when it looks crispy enough for your liking. He's back. See, I told you he keeps bothering me. Out, out, unless you're going to dance. You can dance for us? Look at her. Aren't you gay? And here they are fresh out of the oven. The great part about this is cleanup. Like literally, I'm going to lift up that tinfoil and throw it away. Awesome. The only thing I forgot to tell you to do is to spray this wire rack with Pam. That will help the bacon not stick. Here is Eddie's plate this morning. Do you think he should be happy? I think he should be really happy. Oh! Oops. Shh, 5-second rule. He'll never know. Eddie, do you like it?
This is the best bacon I've had. This is better than some restaurant style bacon that you get. You should open up a store for bacon. Or a restaurant.
Yay! Hope you guys have an awesome week. Bye.